Hello, okay, yes, we are recording, testing. How are you today? This is Aluminum Tarot. We're going to be back again for this May season. We are celebrating the Moo Crew, so if you're one of us, please be sure to celebrate. Leave me some comments below how you plan to do so. And yeah, I went to Wales, had a wonderful time, took some motorbike trips around the area, visited Carnarvon for the first time in about 10 years, which was lovely. And just had all about gas about everything. So beautiful time, beautiful weather, amazing landscapes and portraits, incredible scenery, especially from the top of Mount Snowdon, Earwood Fir, as they call it in Welsh. And yeah, had a great time. So what we'll do now, we'll look into the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. From now until, I guess, a month later, we're going to be doing this for Taurus season, essentially. But it can resonate at any specific time for you, I guess, whenever you hear this. As always, if you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, support the channel as you see fit. Now, we're going to pull from two types of cards. We have both of the Wild Unknown decks. This is going to be the archetypes, and then we also have the tarot deck as well. So with the archetypes, this is something I'm experimenting with just to see precisely what kind of energy we're pulling and give us an overall story and message. So, okay. So this wanted to come out. All right. So we have number one, we have the vessel. And this is going to tell us a little bit about your story. We also have the mask. So let's start firstly with the vessel and get acquainted with the story from this. Okay. So this is 59. 69. No, there we go. So we have the vessel. We're talking a little bit in this situation about becoming something that you absolutely need to become by filling yourself with that thing. So the vessel may be the most powerful archetype form on Earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nest protect the eggs, savings account protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it is time to assess what is being held together. And this is also how this is being held together. Is the vessel too tight? Is it too loose? Is it broken? Is it empty, full? Or perhaps there is no vessel at all and the contents spill in every single direction. So it's natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. Is it time for you to build, break, or repair? You must find out. So then accompanying this was the mask. So we'll talk a little bit about what that tells us as well. So with the mask, we often think of a mask as something that conceals our identity, yet we contemplate the possibility that the mask allows our true identity to be revealed. Now, it allows, the mask gives us voice to that which we previously rejected. And additionally, when this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. So you are in the realm of theater. So anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice, embody the other's limbs. You are taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It is likely that you become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception, bending time. Trust it. So what you're being asked to do is to reveal what is suppressed. With the vessel, once you reveal what is being suppressed, then you can finally embody that new authenticity as fully as possible. So when I get the two of these cards together, this is about someone who has been feeling like they've worn a mask all their life, and now they're taking it off in order to show the real them. Sometimes they give us the opportunity to protect ourselves from the outside world. So everyone knows what happened during the beer bug. I'm not going to say it on TV. I mean, I'm not going to say it on YouTube. But on TV, it was all over, the world. It was in the newspapers, the cough. And we talked a lot about wearing masks to protect ourselves from the threats that were outside of us. And whether you believe it did or not, people did it in the sense that they wanted to give themselves a sense of security. And that's what masks tend to do. They give us a sense of security, whether that's real or false. Additionally, we allow ourselves to express ourselves in the theater of life. As they say, all the world is a stage and we are merely players. And when you wear a mask, oftentimes it allows you to embody the theater that you want to express. So Kabuki theater will do it one way. In Venice, many times people wore masks to be a part of the Carnival, that it allowed them to obscure their true identities or to get into character for other types. So in Africa, many different tribes across the continent wore masks, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, where they became deities or they became characters in a specific tale, because everything was done through spoken word. So these are some of the things that we look into when it comes to our lives. So this is about fully embodying the character that we want to be on the global stage. And so if you feel that you have been using this to protect yourself from the outside world, it's time for us to let go of that. Are we holding on to that too tightly, or do we need to let go and release some of the things that are going to be important for us so that we can step into our true selves? Now, let's look at the past, present, future. We'll clarify those cards, and then we'll pull a likely outcome for this period. Listen, past, present. Good. Another card is your face. And then the near future. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Now, bottom of the deck, we have the Daughter of Pentacles. That means that you're learning things. You're slowly looking into your own life and you're asking yourselves the questions like, what is it that I need to know? What are some of the practical steps that I can take in order to get to this new kind of thing that we want to do? How can I reshape myself into the person that I would like to become? So we start with the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is very expressive in her own right. She oftentimes talks about someone who's alluring, attractive, and going for the things that they want. So in that case, you may feel that in the recent past, you had a time in your life where things were very magnetic. You wanted to attract certain things in your life. You went for them. You had to fight for those things, whether that was money, whether those resources, whether those were love relationships. And what we have here, you had a time in which you were healing your own self, so that way you could find balance within your life. So you have the Son of Cups, which is basically the Page of Cups. No, the Knight of Cups. And it was also the Four of Swords. So it's almost like you were taking a break from the pursuit of romantic adventures, from the outside world, and you actually started to go within. So as you can see here with the Four of Swords, this lamb talks about a return to innocence, and you can see almost it's got a third eye in which it speaks about the kind of insights and clarity it's able to achieve in this healing process, in this journey. Now, typically in the traditional Rider-Waite, we have the Three of Swords hanging above the person's head with the Ace of Swords underneath supporting them, which allows for them to gain new insights on the heartbreak and difficulties that they faced in the recent past. So in doing that, you are allowing yourself to energize and to revitalize your life. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this energy as the Queen of as the Queen of Wands in this particular reading. You can see that the Queen of Wands here is guarding herself and her things that she's trying to give birth to. So it's almost like she's nurturing herself. She's nurturing those things that she wants to give birth to, similar to the way that the Empress would do so. But this is a more fiery energy to it, which tells us that I want this to come to, I want this to come to pass, to fruition. So I'm going to guard it, defend it with the mother spirit that normally would take place. If you've ever seen like bears or anything, or any certain kind of animals guarding their cubs, then that would be kind of energy that you get from this particular reading. Then again, we step into the next card, which is the Four of Wands in the reverse, and it is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Four of Wands in the reverse. I'll clarify that quickly. Clarify. Oof. Okay, so tricky energy here, but we'll get through it. I'm getting a person feeling like they're trying to move towards a milestone with the things that they have been working hard towards, and feeling slightly blocked, or that the progress is slow. And this has created some trepidation within. So that's the Nine of Swords. And then additionally, we have the Sun in the reverse. When we speak of this type of energy, it's not clear whether or not you're going to reach this milestone. So you start to feel worried, anxious. You start to not be able to see the end goal, the end result, which is going to not only just make you happy, but to be very clear. The sun is about clarity, things revealing themselves. So you would get almost like a moon or a lunar energy in this sense. And with that, I kind of see that with this moon and the pentacle within the middle of it. This is an energy that is coming into fruition over the next month or so, because moons or lunar cycles are usually every 28 days. And within that cycle, you're trying to work on something that is going to give you stability, a kind of practical skill or insight, which is what we learned about. And you're trying to get into the energy in which you can bring that forward. So it's almost, in a sense, what I'm getting, because if we have these two cards here, we have the Vessel and then we have the Mask. It's almost like it's very difficult for you to understand how to bring the light out in both of these cards. And you are slowly waiting for that light to be revealed. It feels almost like your life is behind a mask, in the sense in which when you're trying to go for something, you feel like you have to go through the motions of certain things. So let's put it in the algorithm and let's try to see how it would apply to the life that you are living. If you have a job, you want a promotion, you want things to come into a better abundance, you're trying to guard the things that you've worked hard for in the recent past, and it seems like that's going very slowly. So you may be feeling like you're knocked off of your you're knocked a little bit off kilter, and what that's telling you now is like, am I going to get this job? Am I going to get this promotion? Am I doing things the right way? You're starting to feel less confident in that regard. If this is a love relationship and you've acquainted with someone, you're just like, is this the right person? And I'm not really sure. It seems like this isn't really going in the direction that I want it to go into. If it's any other things, you could definitely say similarly. So what we then go into, we talk about the last card here, which is the Three of Wands. You're in a period of waiting for something to take place. So it's a bit like a limbo you've had to face Okay. Okay. Let's. Okay. So, you start with the Son of Cups in the recent past. You start with you kind of finish off with the Daughter of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, which is, in essence, I feel you kind of stepping back a little bit rather than in a masculine way pursuing matters of the heart. You're taking a step back and you're communicating to yourself, okay, how do we do this? How do I trust my intuition in order to make this happen? And in order for you to do that, you feel like you're having to go into a bit of a waiting game, which with the Three of Wands, it tells us a little bit about waiting for your ships to come in, knowing that they are going to come in, but it just feels like it's taking forever, which is why you currently feel in the Four of Wands in the reverse. It's like, is it going to happen? Is it going to come through? And then you feeling a little bit passed over when it comes to, the experiences that you're having. Four of Cups tells us a lot about you feel kind of burnt in the past. So like the universe is trying to offer you a fourth cup, and it feels like it's not necessarily something you want to trust, but you may have to trust it anyway. With a Star, it can feel like it's hopeless. So in this waiting period, you almost feel like rejected, passed over. You can feel like things are not going to happen the way they need to, but it is a matter of having faith. Because if I draw this card, you have the Moon. The Moon is telling us a little bit more about this. You have the Moon in multiple cards here, not only in the Knight of Pentacles, but you have it in the Moon and you have it in the Four of Cups. This tells us that over the next month, you're going to have to give this patience. You're going to need to be resilient. You're going to need to do things in an incremental way. Whatever project that you've got, take incremental steps so that you can reveal this. You can turn the sun right side up. If you're dealing with a love relationship, take it slowly so that you can gauge whether or not the person actually has authentic feelings for you, or if they're not someone that you want to develop a relationship with. You can also look at the sense of if you've got a business going, make sure that you take things incrementally so that way maybe you can save your money, put it away for a rainy day. You can then start to focus on how you're going to build the business, and that can help you to really get into the act of preparing for anything that comes your way in the future. So I'm going to pull some final cards that will allow us to see where this is all going by the end of the season. Verify. Okay, good. So, very good. We have some good things here. Ace of Pentacles. So I just spoke about the business aspect of things. Temperance as well. So if you, as a Capricorn, are trying to work on a business venture, you will get that final level up, if you want to say that, loan or milestone in your work or things of that nature. You will just need to be patient with it because temperance does deal with patience. And you will also need to be balanced as you work towards this pursuit. This Ace of Pentacles is also supposed to give you a newfound foundation for whatever it is that you're building. Capricorns do understand this quality of being resilient, understanding fortitude, and understanding how to build something from the ground up. That is essentially what you symbolize as the goat. The goat is connected to the devil, yes, but it is also connected to the fact that you work meticulously and in a detailed, orientated way so that you can accomplish a goal. And you are the goat for a reason, So what we notice here, channel the ability to see things grow and to become the vessel, fill your vessel with the outcome that you want to reach and the one that you want to achieve. You may feel like you're putting on a mask, like you may feel like you have this trepidation on the inside that is very difficult for you to get to this point in time. But what the outcome tells us is that you're going to reach that goal. And it's just a matter of patience and resilience, which I believe that you Capricorns will be able to receive. And hang tight. It will work out in your favor. And I think that it will go in a very positive manner. So that is going to be it for this reading. So thank you very much. This is Aluminum Tarot. It's a pleasure reading for you today. Hope you enjoy the weather, and I hope you enjoy the time out in this crazy, chaotic world that we have, with so much going on. Just always remember that, the peace and the serenity that you need comes within. So it's important for you to always recognize that. Thanks so much, and until next time, love and light.